welcome back to the Black Hills and Eastern Railroad. Today we're in the shop taking a look at a pair of Athearn ready-to-roll SD40T-2 locomotives decorated for the Denver Rio Grande Western Railroad.
Rio Grande, route through the Rockies.
My objective today is to determine what is needed for a sound installation. I have a couple of 21-pin Soundtrax decoders. These are Tsunami 2s that I've got for these engines. They're ready to go, but I do not know what the speaker enclosure looks like, or if there is one, or if I need to supply my own. So we're going to tear these apart and take a look. Before we get started with that, I wanted to go through a couple little interesting facts about the SDT40-2. What many model railroaders and rail fans don't realize is there was no such thing as an SDT40-2 in EMD's catalog in the mid-1970s when these were in production. SDT40-2 is actually a rail fan or model railroader designation for a locomotive that looks much different than its actual, much more common counterpart. What EMD actually produced is a tunnel cooling modification on an SD40-2. It's basically the same engine, mechanically and everything like that, but to a rail fan and to a model railroader, these are quite a bit different in appearance, at least on the tail section of these things anyway. The radiator section is constructed a lot differently, and it looks quite a little different than a standard SD40-2. So this one and the SD45T-2 are the same way. Another interesting little fact about these models in particular is I happen to know when I bought these, Athearn had actually this was a reaction to what Scale Trains was doing, and they announced an SD40-2 where you could look inside the radiator here and not see any of the non-prototypical model railroad gear inside of the radiator section. I believe that Athearn went to work kind of in a panic to get rid of or to retool this rear truck so that the power could come in forward of the radiator section here, so that you couldn't see that worm gear cover through the radiator section, because in real life you can actually see through that radiator section to the other side when those shutters are open. So let's get started with one of these and we'll take a look at what it looks like on the inside here. So I've got a hobby knife here. I'm going to cut this box open. These are both brand new, have never been hacked into by anyone, not even me. Pretty cool, huh? So I guess this is kind of an unboxing video too, right? And actually, we're just going to step through this here a minute, see what we get. Sign up for Athearn News. Already know about that. Limited warranty card. Then we get to the good stuff down here. I was kind of hoping there'd be a book, but since this is the non-sound, I bought this. I should tell you guys that I bought these things without sound. I did not want the Scale Trains version with the sound built in. The wrong kind of sound. You guys all know that I've standardized on Soundtrax, and I don't want to mix sound decoders here. Exploded parts diagram, and I assume somewhere on here it's going to show us. Yeah, so 325. These take sugar cube speakers. You can see on the parts diagram, I believe that 325 is going to go back to a sugar cube speaker, and probably gaskets and the baffle. We'll have to see whether they're actually included here or not. On the back side, we're looking for number 3. And it doesn't really say whether those are in there or not. So we're going to have to tear this apart and see what we can see. So on this end, looks like detail parts for trucks, perhaps. I'm not sure what all exactly that is. Detail parts on this end as well. We're going to throw that in the box there to keep everything together. This is pretty standard packaging for Athearn, as I've become accustomed to it. And you'd think if it's standard packaging, I'd know how to get it open. Oh, We're going to slide this out from one end here. Clear plastic sleeve. Put that behind there. Then foam comes out. This tab lifts up. And the locomotive is available to lift out here. We'll set the plastic stuff away. And you guys have all seen the unboxing and the reviews by James Wright and people like that. I'm not going to go through that here, but just the initial look. This thing first time out of the box. Pretty cool, you guys. I'm going to lift that foam out of there just real quick. Yeah, you can still see part of that truck tower, but I'm guessing you can on the scale trains one as well. I've never seen one in person up close. I guess maybe I have, but I haven't noticed. We're going to pop the coupler boxes off of there and see what we can learn about underneath the shell. And I always like to use these foam things here. It prevents the locomotive from getting happy and rolling off the end of the bench. Get a screwdriver and pull those coupler boxes out of there, and a yogurt cup to put my smalls in. With regard to the locomotive falling off of the edge of the bench, as the Minnesota guys say, ask me how I know. So I've seen this before, maybe perhaps Proto 2000 units, the SD60 and SD50, if I remember correctly. And so we're going to reach down inside the truck side frame here and loosen that one. I'm not sure how we're going to get that back in there when it's time to reassemble, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And then once we have those two screws out, the shell comes up rather quite easily. So what we've got here, of course, so that's your dummy plug there. That's going to come out and be replaced with your decoder. Then we're going to find out what is going on with the speaker box here. I'm reasonably certain at this point that speakers are not supplied. That's just extra weight there. That's kind of cool. Unexpected, but kind of cool. So they're just gaining extra weight in the engine for pulling power, ballast, if you will. Solid die-cast piece of metal there that they've got screwed in. So you guys may question the timing on this, why I'm doing this now. Then the answer to that is that we've got a train show coming here at the end of this week as I'm recording this in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. That's that DCC train show that I talked about in an earlier episode. Spring Creek Trains does attend that one in the spring, so I hope to talk to Dave and Dev about what they might have for me. I hope to get back into a dual sugar cube speaker configuration for this, but that might not be possible. Don't know. Anyway, I'll have to do a little bit of research, and certainly this one is to be continued later. I'll bring you probably some shots of these guys operating, and I do maybe have a plan to do a little bit of weathering on these too, because these didn't stay clean and nice and black and orange for very long. Go through a couple of tunnels, as their name implies. They're going to be pretty dirty, especially if they're a trilling unit behind a unit that's got problems. They're going to get black really fast. And I don't necessarily want them to look that nasty, but I do want them to look a little like they're actually able to earn their keep out on the railroad. So, hope you like the content here. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.